We're out truck driving in, checking our truck over a little bit. Everything looks pretty good. We got the mighty Kenworth Reed Hurst Kenworth. We're out truck driving. Come on along. I'll show it to you. This is gonna be fun. But like I said, we're in Hays County, Nebraska, and we're gonna go off-road, tractor, trailer, truck driving here. This used to be the main highway right down through here, but then they built new highway over there. We gotta stop at the railroad tracks here, and I don't think they use this very much. Boy, that rail line it's pretty wavy. It don't look very good. Well, I suppose they use it a little. Yeah, I got to get going here. I didn't. But my old grandpa on up here about 8 miles, you come to the farm, and my grandpa bought that. Man, I would say we're pretty close to 100 years ago, right before the Great Depression, and he really struggled hard to get the farm, keep it together during the Depression, and see it all through. Him and my grandma, my grandpa was a good man and my grandma was a good woman. They were good people. I liked my grandpa and grandma up here. Grandpa only had one eye. He lost the other one in an accident, and he got more done with one eye than most people get done with two. He lived. I haven't been out here. I don't go out here. There used to be a little schoolhouse over here. It's all tore down now. And I went to school over there. It's all gone. Some hills and some canyons, some history out here. But we'll take it kind of easy on this gravel road. I don't want to meet anybody and break windshield. The gravel, break windshields and slide off the road and stuff. We'll take it easy. Boy, when I was a kid in the old days, we didn't take it easy. Big old cuts in the road. Now, I'll tell you what, if you could see in the mirror, I'm creating a huge dust cloud behind me. Get it up the hill here. I did a lot of cow hauling out here as I got started truck driving. So I know all these roads. I know all these roads really well. I just haven't been out here, But you never forget from when you were a kid. Well, I don't want to tell too many cornball stories. Awful. Oof. We got to turn the corner up here at there was a dump over here. It's not there no more. We used to go out to the dump and get stuff and take it home. Look to see what other people threw away. we lived on the farm. I grew up out there on the farm. My grandpa moved to town. I think I was 5 years old, about 1970. And you ran and played and looked as a kid growing up. You just notice things and know things about areas. But now there's a place over here as we come up around this curve a little bit, called Corral Canyon, and I guess the Ogallala Trail or something. They used to bring cattle up through here. And there's a canyon over here with real sharp walls that has like a 6 or 8 foot opening. And cowboys would drive the cattle into that canyon, and it was a natural corral. And then all they had to do was cover the opening with some tree branches or something for a gate, and everybody could lay down that night and get rest. Nobody had to ride herd. And that Corral Canyon's right here on my left. It's been years ago, but I remember going and seeing it. And see, nobody's behind me, so big old cut. And then at the bottom of the hill is they tried to start a town down here. There was a man that was I can't even come up with his name. It's all lost. But he wanted it to be the county seat, and the railroad was supposed to come through here. And so he was ahead of the game. He thought he built a stone house down here, and it's kind of a area landmark for people to live out here. The stone house, and the walls are, I don't know, 2 feet thick of stone. And when I was a kid, there was a family that lived in that house, and I've been in that house when they were living in it. It was a very interesting place. But I think that the town's name was Estelle, and the railroad went somewhere else, and he lost the vote on the county seat being here, and then his wife passed away, and he really came up short. They said he was a go-getter and a real good man, but man, did he come up short on that deal. So, but his house the stone house that he built is still here. We'll go around the curve here just a moment, and I'll show it to you. The old stone house, and there's an old school building of some kind. I think it was a stone school building. Things look a little different than I remember them. All right. That's probably 100 years, I don't know, more than that even, 120 years ago or something. Okay, here's the stone house. Well, there's a car sitting there in front of it. Maybe somebody's living in it. There it is. The old stone house. Then there's the old stone school, I think. It's like the front of it's fallen down here, maybe. And then we're going to cross what's called the Stinking Water Creek. See here. There's not very much water left in it anymore. We used to swim in there. We used to go swimming and fishing. We caught some big old channel cats in there. And it looks like you could hop across it. Kind of dried up some. Nice bottoms in here. Man, there's a lot of kids in here I rode the school bus with. I don't know. Things have changed a lot out here in the farming areas like this, rural areas where the farms have gotten much larger. The farm equipment is much larger, and the money's, you know, you have to have a large farm, and it's hard to get going. It's hard to pass it to the next generation. I guess they say there's a lot of the next generation that doesn't want to come out here and do it too. So I don't know. We all eat. We all like to eat. We need farmers and food. I remember ride our bicycles back into that little town back there, down this road. You know, you're 15 or something. Instead of riding the school bus, you rode your bicycle to town, go to school, ride it back home. Yeah. But my old grandpa was a sod buster. He sod busting is where you go out and you plow up a field that's never been farmed before. You got to break open the land and then start farming it. And he told me he had a hard par tractor, and at the end of the sod busting season, I guess there was big money to be made being a sod buster. And at the end of the season, he had other work to do, so he left the tractor at the last job that he did at the end of the sod busting season in the spring of the year. And he said he went back to get the tractor about harvest time, and he was coming along down the road, and there was a combine being pulled by a bunch of horses on the old Neil place. And he said he stopped his tractor, and he went over there, and he said, I want to try to pull your combine with my tractor. And they said, your tractor won't pull that combine. He said, it will. So at noon, when we stop the horses to change out for fresh horses, we'll let you try it. So he hooked onto the combine, which was a thrashing unit and a cutting bar, and he could pull it with the tractor, and everybody freaked out. I'd never seen anything like that. So he got a job pulling the combine in the field with his tractor, and they said people came out from all over the country to see a tractor pull a combine. He said cars just lined the roads to watch that happen. And I guess he ended up being kind of a bit of a celebrity over that for a little while. At the end of the work, then he sold the tractor to them, and they ran the tractor themselves. So yeah, I was growing a little Milo over here, some dryland Milo pasture. I can see the farm from here. My grandpa made some money back in the 50s and 60s. I think after he got through the Depression, he started doing a lot better. And I don't see anybody behind me, so I'm not going very fast here, and I didn't want to be in the way. But I can see the barn. I can see the barn out on Grandpa's farm where I grew up as a kid. My dad took over when my grandpa moved to town, and then my brother farms it now. Yeah. Hmm. But the land that my grandpa, broke out of the sod has been farmed for over 100 years now, and it's been, producing food. So his work and his production just still continues on. Yeah, I'm running about 30 here, 35, 32. Nobody in the mirror, nobody out the windshield. I ain't met nobody either. Pretty quiet. Looks like the corn is doing real good. I'd say the land on both sides of the road here would be my grandpa's farm. Wow. This looks pretty good. A lot of old machinery over here. We used to herd cattle and everything else out here. Well, the barn sided. The chicken house is there. They changed the place quite a bit. How about that? Well, cleaned it all up. Planted some trees. International tractors, everything else. I used to run I had a motocross bike, a race bike, and I used to go to the local motorcycle thing, circuit here, and I'd go back in the back of that pasture back there and run those canyons back there for practice. Alright, I can see up here where the white corrals used to be. Are they gone? Let me look. Yeah, that was crazy. Let's see here. Go truck driving back in here where you haven't been for a long time. Okay. Oh, the white corrals. Oh, look at that. Make sure no one's coming here. The white corrals are still down in there, and they're not white anymore. They're kind of broke down, but somebody painted a sign on them that says white corral, even though it's not white anymore. Hey, right there. This gets a little more sand content to the soil over here. Church is gone. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah, that church was gone. This was another landmark. Yeah, the Elmer church site, and the cemetery's right there. And there was a church here. I remember going in there when I was a little kid. People used to go in there, even though they didn't have church services anymore. You could go in there and just sit and pray. All right. And then up the road was another landmark, was called the Skinny House, and it was the house was real skinny and tall, and so we aren't going to go by there. But there was a place up over here called the Skinny House. It was another landmark where people would say you turn at the Skinny House and you go north 2.25 miles or whatever it was. You turn at the Elmer Church and go west, 2 miles to the skinny house and turn north and go 2.5 miles north. You'd give people directions like that. We're meeting another vehicle. I was trying to swerve around some holes here. This has had some good moisture in it. There's still 2 cars. Traffic jam out here now. I'm going to slow up real good and not throw rocks all over people. Give them plenty of ease and room and not have a big forced thing. There. You'd go way out places like this and haul cattle, you know, load family farm production. Would have, some people would fatten some livestock, fatten some cattle that we would haul out for them, or they'd buy some calves in town. You'd bring them, put them out here. So there was a lot of feed for cattle, cow-calf production, corn stalks. Uh-oh, something's wrong here. Sign says road closed ahead. What's up with that? Okay. Well, we ain't going there then. We're going this way. See if I can't pick up another road up over here. Get out of here. Let's try this. Well, we made it through all of that. It was very interesting. Thanks for coming along. Let me show it to you. Made it back to Cheyenne with the mighty Kenworth. Back in the shop, they're doing a little bit of work to it. And we saw it on through. I hope you're making it on through your day in good shape. Bye now.